Welcome to another edition of North Dakota Hockey Central, your TV home for all things UND hockey. I'm Alex Heinert. Coming up, we'll take a look back over a history-making weekend in the Twin Cities with Brad Barry before hearing from UND freshman and Grand Forks native Judd Caulfield. First, though, it's time for a brand new installment of UND Hockey's web series, Through These Doors. Enjoy.
So we got this new nickname for Jordan here, and I know it ticks him off.
No.
We call him Cowa Hobie,
No.
or Hobie Baker. I think he should be up for that award, so I don't think he likes that one. Jordan Cowa Hobie.
You know I hate that name.
But yeah, that'll get him going. I know there's a couple other things, but yeah, we'll leave it at that though.
Through the eyes of the junior class, this season represented a fresh start.
I think just as a team, we kind of missed the tournament the last few years, so coming in this summer, we obviously had a goal set that we were going to make the tournament this year, and I think everyone kind of bought into that. But just everyone individually wanted to get better this summer, and everyone was working hard, and you know, we're all competitors here, so we like to joke around and have fun, but when it comes down to business, you know, business is business.
And with that comes setting an example for the newcomers.
I think the biggest thing was this summer, I think is like making them feel like part of the team as soon as they get here, and just being there to answer any questions they have, I think is the biggest part.
The Thanksgiving series against the Gophers provided memories for that group to share.
I know for me personally, it's I grew up a Gopher fan, so having all my family there, and it was pretty special. And you know, just growing up watching the Sioux and the Gophers play, and being able to play at Mariucci and play against them, and obviously getting the sweep is, you know, it's definitely a top 5 moment so far in my life. And you know, I thought we played good and hard, and you know, it was a fun weekend.
For me, like, not really growing up like a huge college hockey guy, but you know, coming here and learning and understanding how heated this rivalry is, it's just, you know, we did an amazing job going in there and winning back-to-back games like that. And, you know, obviously with all the fans we had and all the support, it was unbelievable, the atmosphere. I mean, we had, I think we had more fans than they did in their own rink, and we're pretty lucky that way.
Their chemistry off the ice has led to increased production on the ice, especially in the Miami series.
You know, we were just kind of wanting to be the best line on the ice, and I think that's our goal every night. And we were clicking that weekend pretty well. And but you know, our whole team has 4 lines that can score. So yeah, we were the ones clicking that weekend. But you know, there's other guys that are out there as well.
I think it has just helped our confidence as a line, and I think it helped our team in general. Give us the confidence to know that we can make plays and create offense. So I think the weekend was just good for the team and our line in general.
Obviously we see each other every day, but even away from the rink too, we're spending a lot of time together, and it's kind of been like that ever since we stepped on campus. We got a lot of different personalities, but it's pretty fun when we're all together for sure.
We're always kind of just, you know, chirping each other and getting under each other's skin, and I think going out onto the ice, I mean, that we bring it out there too, so we kind of get underneath each other's skin out there and push each other to be the best we can be. So
The guys have enjoyed plenty of moments together as the result of their preparation.
Reggie does a lot of things. Sometimes he doesn't get rewarded for all his hard work that he puts in, but you know, he's always the first one at the rink, last one to leave, and he's always the first one to stick up for a teammate. And you know, I think it was a special for our entire group to see him score there.
whole bench kind of erupted there. It was pretty cool. Just it was a long time coming, and I think some of us were wondering if it was ever going to happen. So.
We're all good friends, and we'll be lifelong friends for sure. And I think that's just helped us in the end, becoming better teammates and growing as friends.
For sure is you can't cross the line with him. He has his little spaz attacks.
Oh
my! No, I think everyone has that line.
But defensiveness.
Yeah, we like to give it to Grant a little bit more, so we see him freak out a little bit.
No, it's got like I can take it. I'm the tough guy, and I take it. I can take it, and I definitely give it the best.
Good stuff as always from Cassie Niles and the entire Through These Doors team. Time for a break, but we will return here on North Dakota Hockey Central with thoughts from head coach Brad Berry on UND's triumphant Thanksgiving trip to MPLS. That's next. Welcome back to North Dakota Hockey Central. Time to welcome in UND head coach Brad Berry, who joins us now from inside Ralph Engelstad Arena. Brad, just another ho-hum week for the program, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a different week in the fact that we went on the road on a Thanksgiving and the games were on a Thursday and a Friday as opposed to Friday, Saturday. So a little bit different type of setting, but excited about the result that we got with 2 wins.
Feels like a long time ago now, but let's talk about that Thanksgiving weekend series against Minnesota. Going into Game 1 on Thursday, did you have a sense that the guys were dialed in?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime that you go into the Minnesota weekend, and we've been doing that for the past 2 or 3 years, there's been an added intensity, an added focus, you could call it, just because it's a long storied rival in the old WCHA. And I think it goes back to short-term memory of Las Vegas, the experience we had down there and the positive result we had, and the way we played in Las Vegas in the one game that we did play down there. So I know some of the new guys don't know a lot about the rivalry, but they learned from some little bit of video that we showed, and also word of mouth from the guys that have been through the rivalry games over the past couple of years.
On that Thursday night, you'd go on to score essentially at will, winning 9-3 behind 8 different goal scorers. What did you think allowed the team to click like that on Thursday?
I think just being on our toes and being intense and making sure that we talked about each shift, making an impact on each shift and not wasting a shift. They did a good job of doing that. I think discipline was a big thing. We limited amount of penalties, even though that we took one early on each game. We limited the amount of power play time they got, which is a big deal on that big ice sheet. But knowing our guys had a focus of trying to do a job on a big ice surface in an away environment.
Your team has had some big offensive performances this year, but 9 goals at Minnesota is unprecedented stuff. Was it a little surreal watching that game unfold from the bench, Brad?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if you call it surreal. I just think, we didn't really get, I don't know what you call it, focused on the scoreboard. We just wanted to focus on, each shift, each 5-minute increment of the game, each period. We really broke it down into small phases of the game, and I think at the end of the day, the guys repetitively did good things shift after shift, which led to the 9 goals. And I don't think, one of the things you get caught up in sometimes is, if you do score that many goals, you worry about your team kind of, I wouldn't say cheating for offense, but kind of shortcutting the details of the game, that things that got you there. I thought our guys didn't do any shortcuts. They did all the details extremely well for 60 minutes.
Thursday was, of course, just Game 1 in a 2-game set. What did you and the staff do to help the team move past such a big win so quickly and refocus on the next game?
Well, it was partly on the coaching staff, but it was a large amount on our leadership group. I don't think words can describe, how hard the other team's going to come out after a result like that the night before. There's pride in the locker room. I'm sure, you know, players got challenged a little bit as far as what they needed to bring to the table in the Minnesota locker room, and they did. They came out and they played a hard, heavy game. There wasn't a lot of time and space, so it was a much different game. But I don't think words can resonate enough as far as how to prepare your team. So that's where the leadership group came in. We brought all the captains in. We talked to them about, hey, you know what, we're getting to the second half of the year. This is a time where, you know, you guys have to help lead in the locker room. You guys have to start taking the team over here a little bit as far as, you know, the things to say on a daily basis. And I thought they did an outstanding job of that. So, you know, I give kudos to the leadership group on, you know, kind of being an extension of the coaching staff.
As you mentioned a moment ago, Friday was a much tighter contest, but you got the job done with a 3-2 win. What stood out to you in game number 2?
Just our resiliency. You know, there was ebbs and flows of the game. You know, our second period, I thought we took over the game. The first period was kind of 50-50 going back and forth, hard checking, fast game. But I thought we took over puck possession, ozone play in the second period. You know, we got to a 3-1 lead. And then when we got to the third period, you know, we outchanced them 5-3, and they ended up getting a power play goal. They scored with a little over 13 minutes left to make it a 1-goal game. I thought we didn't deviate from what we did, and we locked it down and got the win. So what was pleasing is winning 2 games very different ways on a wide goal margin and a 1-goal game, and that really helps our team build and grow to try to close out games different ways.
A UND road sweep of the Gophers. It only happened once since 1980. You've now won 4 in a row against that team. Knowing how much the team and the fan base relish this rivalry, how satisfying were these 2 wins?
Yeah, you know, they are. I think what we do usually is, you know, enjoy that win on the Thursday night, and then we move forward and go to the Friday night and enjoy the win on the Friday night. Now our challenge or our focus is becoming, you know what, we did a good thing there. We got to move past it, put it in the rearview mirror, and get on to Western Michigan here. You know, it's going to be a hard, heavy series in Western again that closes out the first half of our schedule, so we got to be ready for it. But one of the things that we really going to treasure is making sure that we know that we have a loyal fan base that was down in Minnesota. They were absolutely loud, and when you heard those chants on the Friday night with 5 or 6 minutes left, chanting in a visiting facility, that doesn't happen anywhere. That's pretty special at North Dakota.
Yeah, certainly. Colton Poolman, by the way, had a great quote after the win Friday, referencing how much fun this team is having right now. Obviously, winning helps that, but even before the season or early in the year, had you noticed the difference in the locker room in regards to the team's chemistry versus what you'd seen in previous years?
Absolutely. You know, we one of the opening meetings we talked about playing with confidence, playing with swagger. You know, the word we use, swagger, a lot. And you know, one of the ways to get swagger is just like you alluded to, Alex, is winning games. Well, we managed to win games early, and our swagger has built up. And not an arrogant swagger. It's one of those calm confidence attitudes that kind of just goes through the locker room here. And you know, our group is a very close group, and they're having a lot of fun right now, but they're working hard extremely at that too.
Your current unbeaten streak sits at 11 games now with 1 series left before the holiday break. It's not an easy test, though, as you hit the road to play at Western Michigan this weekend. What do you make of Andy Murray's team so far this year?
They're very competitive. They play a very fast game. There's not a lot of time and space. They can make plays. You know, it sounds eerily similar to the way we play. So I think you're going to see 2 even strength teams going after it. Specialty teams are going to be a big part of it, right? Power play and penalty kill, and we need to make sure that we're sharp on both of those. But when we get to 5-on-5, it's going to be a tight checking game, fast playmaking, and we're in a great college facility at Lawson Ice Arena when they got the Lawson Lunatics there cheering, and it's a great college hockey experience for our players.
Well, it should all make for a pair of entertaining games to close out the first half of the season. Safe travels to Kalamazoo, Brad, and best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Alex.
Brad Berry. More North Dakota Hockey Central is on the way after this with a look at UND's latest hometown hero. That's next. Back. Over the years, most UND teams have featured their share of homegrown talent, and the 2019-20 edition is no different. 4 players from the greater Grand Forks area are on the roster this year, including freshman Judd Caulfield, who gets the spotlight this week in our latest edition of Meet the Freshmen.
My name's Judd Caulfield, and I'm from Grand Forks, North Dakota, and I play for the University of North Dakota. Growing up in Grand Forks, it's obviously really cold here. My dad would always have the outdoor rink in my backyard, which is awesome, like having friends over and stuff, getting to skate and just messing around in the outdoor rinks, there's nothing better. We moved over to a house and they had like a tennis court in the backyard, which is like kind of cracky and stuff, so like might as well turn it into a hockey rink, I guess. And at the time, Eagles was redoing their boards, so like we were able to buy their old ones for pretty cheap. So like we lined around the fence with some boards, and the next step was to get a Zamboni, I guess. And there was an old one on the east side, so it had the green and white, and we just had a little black pinstripe and a Sioux head on there. So my dad really didn't think twice about it. My dad and brother just kind of introduced it to me, I guess. It's obviously a huge sport here in Grand Forks with the university right here, and everyone always goes to the game, so it's just a great culture to play hockey in. Geez, over my lifetime, probably 100 or so. We had season tickets always every year, so I was always there with my dad and brothers. Those 2 years just flew right by, but it's awesome getting to play next to guys like, oh well, Jack, he's obviously in the NHL right now, which is pretty crazy, but yeah, just getting to see all those different players and just kind of take stuff from them and try to implement it into my game. Yeah, we have a big family. I have 2 older siblings and 2 younger, so there's always people around the house. I've been home a few times for dinner. It's always nice to have your mom cook you a meal and stuff and just kind of stay out of the family, but I haven't been over there too much, but just we'll kind of see how the season goes, I guess. I like pasta and stuff, and my favorite meal is probably mashed potatoes and gravy with some meatballs. My grandma makes the best, and my mom too. She kind of learned from my grandma. My favorite hobby is probably surfing, because we go down to the lake every weekend during the summertime, and we saw some videos online, just people surfing and stuff, and we thought it looked pretty fun, so we decided to load up the boat with some ballast and try to get a good wave going, and then just kind of took off from there, I guess. I wish I was good at basketball, because it's always fun just to go with your buddies and stuff and just shoot around, but yeah, it's definitely different. There's not the mom there or something to do laundry. We're kind of all on our own there, just learning different life skills. That's Harrison by far. He's kind of the messy one. Thankfully, he's in the other room though, but yeah. Dreamt of being drafted in the NHL, and just getting your name called just doesn't really seem real at the time. It's probably been 3 months now, but yeah, it still seems like unreal, I guess. Hasn't really sunk in completely. Putting on the jersey for pictures and stuff is, it's a dream come true, I guess. It's gonna be crazy with all those fans there. I've never really, well, the only time I played in front of this many fans was last year when we played here, so it'll be nice to be on the good side this year, I guess. My name's Judd Caulfield, and I'm from Grand Forks, North Dakota, and I play for the University of North Dakota.
This past summer, Judd became the 13th player from Grand Forks to be selected in the NHL draft when he was taken in the 5th round by Pittsburgh. He's coming off his best weekend in a UND uniform to date after recording a primary assist Friday and Saturday against Minnesota. Judd and company have 1 series remaining in 2019, and it is a big one in the chase for the Penrose Cup. We'll preview the matchup with Western Michigan when North Dakota Hockey Central returns. Time now to check in with the national college hockey scene, starting with this week's USCHO.com poll. No change in the top 4 for the 2nd week running, as Minnesota State, Cornell, North Dakota, and Denver have given the pollsters no reason to alter their thinking after going a combined 6-1-0 this past weekend. Cornell, by the way, is the nation's last remaining team with a perfect record, as the Big Red are 9-0-0. It won't be easy to maintain that this weekend, however, as they'll travel to 12th-ranked Harvard on Friday before going up to Dartmouth on Saturday. The NCHC standings look exactly as they did 1 week ago, as only 4 league teams were in action this past weekend, and all of them were out of conference. It's early, of course, but note that UND has taken 17 of a possible 18 points through their opening 6 conference games, a really impressive start to the NCHC campaign. This coming weekend features 3 series between NCHC teams, including a top 20 matchup at Baxter Arena between Omaha and a Duluth team that was swept at home by Minnesota State their last time out. St. Cloud State, meanwhile, has yet to record a point in NCHC play. They'll try to end that in Miami, while the 2 Colorado schools have non-conference road series against Arizona State and Princeton, respectively. Then there's UND and Western Michigan, 2 of the top 3 in the current NCHC standings. North Dakota split and lost in Ice Arena last year, but they're looking for more this time around, especially given their current state of play.
Obviously, it's a really exciting series. We're back in conference next weekend, and it's big for us. We got to get those points. You know, we're looking to stay at the head of the conference, and these next 2 games before break are going to be huge.
And you know, Western and Lawson Arena, they come pretty hard. They're a big, heavy group. They like to hit, and you know, we got to be ready for that to get back, track back, make sure we get our breakouts in, and you know, I think that's going to be a key for us next weekend.
Number 3 North Dakota against number 17 Western Michigan. Can UND extend their lead in the NCHC standings, or will Western close the gap at the top heading into Christmas? We'll find out this weekend, with both games beginning at 6 p.m. Central Time from Kalamazoo. You can watch both with a subscription to NCHC.TV. That is our time for this week's North Dakota Hockey Central. On behalf of everybody here at MidcoSN, I'm Alex Heinert. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the hockey this weekend.